Good morning, everybody. I'm going to get started, so I'd ask for your attention. We'll make it very quick, and we'll go through everything quickly. So, my name is Andrea Carsey, and if I didn't introduce myself before, I apologize. Thank you. So, welcome to the Wasco annual meeting. Our agenda is pretty simple. We're going to have our chairman, Andy Shapiro, welcome everybody. We're going to do a quick year in review. Election of the board. We're going to do lunch from 12 to 1. It's a lovely lunch. You'll have enough time to chat with everybody and enjoy, hopefully, your lunch. Then we're going to head over to Steve Greenfield to moderate our panel, which is really terrific. We have a great panel of people you have not heard from. I guarantee you have not heard from these people. And we have some very special, which I'll go through. And then, of course, after the panel, we'll be giving out our dividend checks as you leave. So thanks again for coming, taking the time. We really appreciate it. We appreciate your business. And as always, we appreciate your time. Mr. Shapiro, I know you're here. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay.
Andrea, thank you. Thank everybody for coming. I will be brief as Andrea will go through the operations. But once again, well, I'd like to congratulate Andrea, Mike, and the team on a second consecutive record year, which you will see in a minute. They've done a terrific job. I'd also like to thank my board of directors. Everyone's been super helpful and really helpful to the effort here. I'm very pleased to announce that, should the vote go the correct way, we will have 4 additional directors joining the team. David Cull, Eric Nielsen, Ken Tilton, Rob Sertilman. And I want to thank everybody for showing increased interest in Wasco, your efforts and desire to join the board, and we have interest outside these folks as well. So a lot of interest, a lot of additional interest in Wasco this year, and well-deserved. Last, I'd just like to again thank everybody. This is my 6th year as chairman. I will be stepping down, and I'm grateful and appreciative and thankful to Mike DeSilva, who has agreed to take on the role next year. Mike, you know it's a terrific group. I'm sure we'll have another terrific year. Thank you very much. Thank you all again. It's a great association. I'm proud to be part of Wasco and continue on. And Andrea, Mike, and the team, thank you. You're wonderful to work with, and you do a great job for all the shareholders and customers.
Thank you, Andy. So the operations will go quick. There's only a few slides. Our revenue this year was the best ever, above $35 million. Of course, the challenge with that is how to beat it this year. But $35 million due to all of you and all the things you've entrusted us with, and we're extremely thankful. For the fiscal year, September 1st, 2022 through August 31st, 23, we had, as I said, a record revenue year. Our dividend this year, we're paying out 7.29% on any of your purchases this year. And again, that's above what we've historically done. The average was about 7%, give or take. The value of 1 share of stock is $8,812, but the stock split in 2019, so unless you were new purchasing a share, you probably have 2 shares. There are some people that might have a few more because back, in the way back, they bought more shares. It didn't give them anything more than more shares. And of course, the appreciation on the shares. And I believe I calculated that, and I thought I put it in this slide, but I didn't. I think it's, and I don't know, Steve or somebody, if our accountants are here, can confirm, but I think it comes to about 18.5% that you would have earned on that stock, which I think was better than most of the stock market last year. Okay, our universe, we have 176 shareholders covering 828 rooftops. We have people that are not shareholders, and we have a lot of good customers that, like I said, are not shareholders. And of course, we have some of the large groups. We're proud to say that we do a good business with Lithia, Penske, and some of the other multi-franchise, and some of you are, of course, multi-stores these days. Our new shareholders, this is always a highlight. We have the new Rydell Volkswagen of Linden. We have Motorite Auto Parts joined us this year, Yonkers Kia, and Park Ford of Mayapack. They all became shareholders this year. The Board of Directors for next year, 2024, we have Michael De Silva, as Andy said, is our new chairperson. We're thrilled to have him. Andy Shapiro will be vice chairperson. Michael Critchley will be treasurer. Scott Sr. will be secretary. And we'll have the rest of our Board of Directors, Judith Schumacher-Tilton, Bill Brunner, Ron Jaffe. I have Michael on here twice. Paul Healy, Brian McLenathan. And our new board members, if you would stand, if you don't mind, that would be nice. Robert Sittilman from Smithtown Acura and Nardi Honda. Mr. Sittilman is a great operator. I can tell you that he put me through the paces when we were trying to get him on board. Oh my God, I can remember I was in a hotel room somewhere and he was grilling me. David, huh? Oh, I know, and you still grill me. David Cull from Burns Cull Auto Group. Thank you again. Another great group of great operators. I've had the privilege of being on, walks, I was going to say, but visits in Washington in the days of AIADA with some of the Culls. Eric Nielsen from the Nielsen Auto Group. I'm not sure that he's here yet, but again, another great, it's an honor to have the Nielsen Auto Group as part of our board. Great operators, and of course, Ken Tilton from Schumacher. Again, another great group. These are all what I would call kind of legacy dealers in a sense. Great operators, great names in the business, and that's not to be said for a lot of other people. So we're thrilled. These are great operators that I'm sure will bring some very intelligent commentary to our board. And now I'm going to ask Andy to step up because we're going to do the election of the Board of Directors.
So I need a motion from somebody in the audience to approve the slate as presented, so the existing board directors plus the 4 additions. Do I have a motion? Ed Rossi, thank you. A second? Someone? Who's that?
I don't know, we have some hands though.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. The motion is passed. Welcome to the new board members. Look forward to working with everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. And I just want to say, and I guess it's a good time now to say it, Andy has been, we've had some really great chair people. I know one of them that was chair when I first came on board is here today. And he was super terrific and very, very good at helping me get into what Wasco should be. And Andy has been terrific in the last 6 years, giving advice, giving direction, suggestions, very thoughtful, and I won't miss it because he'll still be on the board, but he's really put a lot of time in to Wasco, and for that we're forever thankful. So we want to save you money. I'm sure you're glad to hear that. So just a couple of quick programs to remind you if you didn't know, or to let you know if you didn't know. Cartridge Exchange is a managed program for cartridges, as it says. Document Solutions, we have a copier program. We save people money when they want to buy or lease a copier. We can get you out of a lease. They do a great job. We have leased copiers from them, and we have saved money, and that's why we do it. And a very good uniform rental program. There are some caveats to that. If you have a contract already, we will not talk to you because you will end up losing if you decide to change without notifying your current uniform company before your renewal comes up. And I'll just say this, many of you probably don't even know that you're in another term of your contract because they automatically renew. And unless you're on top of your game, somebody in the dealership probably signed that contract and didn't realize it had another, like what I'll call evergreen, right? So again, you have a question, you can always reach out to me. I will give you the lowdown on that. But American Wear is a great company. They provide current uniforms that are required by the OEMs or generic ones. They're a great company to deal with, family-owned. U.S. Coffee, beverage service, again, another great company that we're proud to have in our program. We do floor mats. We do all kinds of things. So again, keep that in mind. And then we have programs to make you money. So Auto Action is a great program. They will do leather. So if you take in a used car and it has cloth, I mean, I don't know how many of those there are these days, but there are probably some. Or you have a rip, they will do the leather, and they have a special warranty for us, a rip, tear, and burn. WeatherTech, another great program. So if you don't think it's, you think to yourself, well, WeatherTech, the manufacturers have mats. You make money on WeatherTech. We sell it to you below their, what's on their website. People, they spend billions, I think, in marketing, and this is the time of year. So you can get floor mats, I have under sink mats at home. They have seat mat, if you take the dog in the car. They have trunk mats, WeatherTech, and they have, of course, the famous cup phone. So WeatherTech's a great product. You can put it, the manufacturers, some of them don't like it particularly, so you hide it when they come. In the meantime, you can make money on this, okay? And just check it out and see if it isn't true. BG Products, Service Lane. So this is transmission, engine, fluid exchange. Great program. We have customers that they do an unbelievable job with this. And the program is different than any other people out there, and here's why. Number one, Wasco stands behind everything we do, much to probably our detriment at times. But in the case of Service Lane, we have an agreement with BG that they will not pay anybody in your dealership anything without your written permission. I guarantee if you're not using them and you have someone else, I can pretty much guarantee somebody's getting money that you do not know about, okay? Okay, going on, projects. So we do a lot of projects. We obviously represent rotary lifts, which I will tell you all here, which is something you know already. It's a challenge these days. They changed their computer system back a while ago, August, I think, and they've not been right since. They're working on it, but the lead times are crazy. To get information is crazy. We have projects that, we basically stand behind our guarantees, and it's tough with Rotary. But they're the best in the business, and that's why we don't deal with anyone else. And people ask all the time, well, why don't you deal with Challenger or this one? No. We only deal with industry-leading products. That's all we do, at the best possible price. So we did a project, and it's still ongoing, almost done, up at Soreski, a great project. Jack Daniels, and I know Ron's in the room, they do a lot of wonderful work over there, so we're really thrilled to have done this with them. And, of course, I want to thank the Wasco team. Now, I'm going to try my best, folks, okay, without seeing most of you, but I'm going to try. So I know I have Michael Allen here somewhere. He's my partner in crime every day, because without Michael, things would grind to a halt. I'm convinced, not to mention we'd never get lunch. So Michael's here. I have David Rothman, who is a client manager from out on the island. I know Carol Lamb is here. She services South Jersey, and Eastern Pennsylvania, Carol is here. I have Doug Tribal, who's here, who represents all over the world, it seems, because he's up, he's down, he's in, he's out. But he does a fabulous job. Rick Stein. Rick is another great client manager for us, handles some of South West Jersey, but also some of West Jersey, Route 22. Rick Stein, another great person for us. And then Richard Carcian, no relation, who handles Bergen, Essex, and some of those surrounds, client manager, because he knows that area for a long time. And, of course, out at the table, we have Colleen Gray, who's our accounting manager. Colleen was a great person that we brought on board. She's really very good. She does most of the stuff I used to do while I was doing other things too, but she does a better job. Lorraine Walsh, who's been with us since she was 2, she's sitting out at the table, and she's been here 40-plus years, I don't even know. We also have Megan Polanco, who is now our accounts receivable person, who does a great job, and if Megan gets her teeth in you, you will pay. So please, when Megan calls, answer the call. Megan's here. Joe Sibilia, who is our Director of Facilities and Equipment, and Joe replaced Paul, who retired, and Joe is a great guy. He has a lot of experience in building and doing things. He was with the Planet organization for many, many years, and Joe has stepped in, and we're busier than ever, and he does a great job with all of that. And his trusty sidekick, Tonto, Gail Pizzo, is here. And Gail, again, without Gail, we probably wouldn't function in the equipment and project arena because she keeps us straight. She knows where everything is. She's on the phone, where is it? She's finding missing pieces. We're on a hunt for a compressor. Gail's on it. So again, without these folks, we wouldn't do the job we do. Did I forget anybody? Michael, I saw you. Did I get it? Wow, okay. Anyway, thanks to our team, who, as I said, has been terrific. Without them, nothing would get done. I mean, they do, I think as an organization, we should be very thankful. You know how hard it is to get people. You know how easy it is to lose people. We don't lose people unless they retire or, I don't want to say die, but some of them do. But they don't leave. Nobody leaves. We treat them well, thanks to all of you. And it's not like we do anything really super special, but we treat them with respect. We are so lucky. We have in the warehouse, we have the greatest warehouse staff ever, okay? These folks are dedicated. They're wonderful. They're just nice people. Anything else? Yeah, they don't steal. And they don't steal, no, that is true. So, but they really are wonderful people. We're really blessed to have the people we have. And again, thank you to all of you for the business, and I hope you enjoy the day. We have a wonderful panel, which we have door prizes. Maybe we'll do the door prizes to break things up. So you want to get did anybody not put a business card in? We have ones you can write on if not. Everyone put a business card in because we have great prizes. You don't want to miss out. Okay. So, Michael, why don't you ask Judy to pick? This is
I'm going to go around until I talk to our new board members.
Okay, very nice. This is for third place, this is for third place. It's $100. This is third place. Oh. For second prize, which is the Apple Watch Ultra 2, which is a fun prize. Who is it, Michael? And for first place, which is the new iPhone 15 titanium, it's the 15, I guess they're all titanium, I don't know. But anyway, for first place. Tim Ryan. Okay, I'm almost finished. Coming up next, we're going to do lunch till 1 o'clock. Then we have the panel, and we then will distribute the dividend checks. So I want to talk about the panel. So we have Steve Greenfield, moderator and founder of Automotive Ventures, an early-stage venture capital fund investing in the automotive technology and mobility space. And I'm going to ask Steve a couple of questions because I sit on, Wasco made an investment in Automotive Ventures because we wanted to be on the leading edge of anything out there that we think our dealers could use. So we were pleased to be able to do an investment, a small investment, and I've been on the calls, and there are some wonderful companies. So why don't you talk about WarCloud for a minute, Steve, if you don't mind? Ooh.
Sorry. Well, first, Andrew, thank you for having me. Wow, that's loud. Hi, everyone. Looking forward to a really good panel after lunch. We've got some great panelists, and we're going to be taking questions from all of you. So really excited. Thanks for having me here today. Yeah, we're trying to be good stewards of your money and invest in some great technology companies that will benefit car dealers. One of the examples is WarCloud. For those of you that haven't seen this company, they're automating the warranty processing back to the OEM. Typically, dealers either have a clerk that's responsible for this and or are outsourcing it to a mom and pop shop. The value proposition for WarCloud is they automate all of that. Fewer errors, you can get rid of that head count and or repurpose them to take on a different role at the dealership. And they're also showing, in addition to getting paid faster with fewer errors, dealers who are participating are generating an additional 12% additional revenue on the processed claims back to the OEM. And you know, this is central to sort of our investment thesis is in the future. Well, I guess one of the things, I've been in the industry for 25 years, and I've always gone to NADA and had empathy for all of you who walk the floor and get harassed by all the vendors. But everything up until now has really been focused on, can you help me sell an additional car or help me sell another dollar in service? There haven't been many vendors, if any, that have helped you on the cost side. And I'm really excited for vendors like WarCloud that now all of you are invested in, who can help dealers effectively take costs out of their operations while generating more revenue as well by automating processes. So if you want to hear more about WarCloud, just grab me either during lunch or afterwards. But it's an exciting company. And to put in perspective, they're up to about 500 dealers now. They just surpassed $15 million annual recurring revenue. And as you can imagine, the large DMS companies that will remain nameless here are already kind of sniffing around the periphery. I'm on the board, and they're already saying, oh, this is kind of an interesting company. So we're going to hold them off for a few years while we continue to grow for a bit, and we will get a really good outcome for everybody in the room when we finally exit this thing. So you'll hear more about WarCloud, and we've got other companies that we've invested in, too, that I'm happy to talk about as well.
So, Steve, whichever ones you maybe can give us a quick snippet on.
Sure. For those of you that have been using vAuto for a long time, but aren't really super thrilled with either what you're paying and or the fact that the technology really hasn't evolved in the last decade, we invested in a company called VinQ out of Kansas City. And they're doing great things, probably $8 to $10 million a year in revenue right now, probably 700 dealers versus vAuto having 10,000 dealers. And innovative product, innovative company. And you'll hear more about them at NADA in a couple of months as well. We're actually working on I think a clever reseller agreement. We invested out of this dealer fund that you're invested in 6 months ago, and we're working very closely with them to try to energize growth as well. So if you're interested in looking at some other inventory solution besides vAuto, let us know.
Steve, can we talk about any of the others? Should I mention the names, because I'm not
Please,
sure?
fire away.
So, well, one of my favorites is, well, both my favorites, Go Eve
Yep.
and Treehouse.
I like that she's on top of our portfolio. This is great. So Treehouse is the first company, well, there's a lot of companies that will come to you and allow you to install an EV charger for your consumer. Treehouse is the first one that will quote a price up front and guarantee and stand behind it. And why that's important is at point of sale, if you're selling the consumer an EV and they're like, hey, can you help me put in an EV charger? Then no one else will guarantee the price of that install at point of sale. Why is that important? Really two reasons. One is you don't want to have a vendor tell you that the price is $1,000 and then find out later that, ooh, they get to the house and we got to rewire the circuit board or something, the fuse box, and it's going to be $2,000. The consumer's pissed, and they're probably going to call you and say, you know, why'd you promise me $1,000 when now this electrician is charging me $2,000? The second thing, and the more important reason, and the reason why we invested in this company is if you're ever going to roll that charging infrastructure, the charging install, into the monthly payment, you're going to have certainty around what that's going to cost to install at the point of sale. So these guys are out of Detroit, and very clever, a couple of young guys who have come up with this concept. They're able to take data from a bunch of different sources, including, you know, the blueprints of houses in municipalities, satellite images, believe it or not, and then they can come up with a high degree of confidence that based on a zip code and answering like 2 or 3 questions, they can quote this upfront price and stand behind that upfront price. So that's Treehouse. Go Eve is a company out of the UK we invested in. And you know, this is a solution, when I tell you, you're gonna be like, oh, doesn't that exist already? But I can guarantee you it doesn't exist. So when you think about the automakers asking you to make infrastructure investments in EV chargers, you put an EV charger into the ground besides 1 or 2 parking spots. So let's use the service use case. You've got, say, 10 or 15 EVs, and you got consumers coming in the morning to pick them up at, say, 7, 8, and 9 a.m. How on earth, with one fast charger, are you going to make sure that 15 cars get charged up? Unless you have a porter stay overnight and shuttle cars back and forth as they get charged. So what this company Go Eve has come up with is basically a daisy chain or a power strip for an EV charger. You take a fast charger, you plug in one end into the fast charger, you can plug up to 20 cars simultaneously, and then the software figures out which order you want to charge those cars in. So you're probably thinking to yourself, as we did, we're like, oh, well, that seems like it's pretty basic. Like, why hasn't anyone come up with it? So the good thing is, no one else has come up with it. They've got patent protection, and they're going to be bringing it to the US in Q1 as they get the electrical certifications and such. So you're going to start seeing this. So if you struggled with like how you're going to build out your lot with EV chargers, let me know. There's equally, if not more, of an opportunity in condominiums and apartment buildings where you've got one charger and you might have like 30 cars that are EVs. You're gonna be able to run basically all these wires from one charger and plug in up to 20 cars simultaneously. So we're really excited about that one as well.
And there's some others, but we'll leave those because we're running out of time.
I'm just really impressed that Andrea is on top of our portfolio, so congrats.
Well, it's all such interesting, you know, every time I listen to one of them, I'm like, oh my goodness, that sounds wonderful. And I want to try it. Anyway, so the rest of our panel, we have Todd Burko. He's a co-managing partner at Bel Air Partners, an automotive buy-sell advisory firm. My favorite, because of his connection, I was going to say his lineage, is Kevin Tynan. He's the director of automotive research for Bloomberg Intelligence and named a top stock picker in his field. And I am a Bloomberg groupie, so I've heard Kevin many times. He's extremely knowledgeable about all things automotive, and just fascinating. And of course, Bloomberg Intelligence, what else could you ask for? Jeremy Alacandri, who's a panelist and management consultant specializing in the automotive industry as well as a Forbes contributor. Some of the board and I met Jeremy. He had worked with Mary Ann Keller, who was, I always looked up to Mary Ann. She was the preeminent automotive, I don't know, is analyst the right word? But anyway, well-known. He worked with her, and they did some work for us at Wasco. So I'm thrilled to have this panel. And again, this is not a panel you're hearing anywhere else. And Steve leading it just makes it so much better. Okay, we are now wrapping up, and I believe lunch should be ready soon. Are you nodding it's ready? Yes, it is? All right, so why don't you orderly start from the back and get up and get online. Enjoy your lunch, take your time, 1 o'clock. I appreciate if you're back in your seats, and we can start the panel. Thank you very much.